You have been lied to about intelligence your entire life. They told you it was about grades, test scores, how many books you read, how quickly you could solve equations. They fed you a comfortable fiction because the truth would have been too dangerous to teach in classrooms full of children who were being groomed to follow orders. Real intelligence has nothing to do with memorization. It has nothing to do with being able to recite facts or impress people at dinner parties with your vocabulary. Real intelligence is the ability to read the invisible currents of power that move beneath every human interaction. It is the capacity to see what others cannot see, to move while others are paralyzed, to take what you want while making others believe it was their idea to give it to you. Machiavelli understood this 5 centuries ago. So did Sun Tzu. So did every person who ever built an empire, toppled a king, or changed the course of history from the shadows. They understood that there is a hierarchy of awareness, a ladder of cognitive evolution that separates those who shape reality from those who are shaped by it. Most people never climb past the first rung. They live their entire lives in a fog of conditioning, reacting to stimuli like laboratory animals, believing they are free because they can choose between 30 brands of cereal at the supermarket. They are not stupid in the traditional sense. Many of them have impressive credentials, but functionally they are asleep. Today we are going to map the 7 levels of intelligence. Not the intelligence that gets you a diploma, but the intelligence that gets you power. The intelligence that allows you to navigate a world where everyone is lying, where every smile hides calculation, where the rules are written by those who benefit from your ignorance. This is not going to be comfortable. You are going to see yourself in this hierarchy, and you might not like where you land. But awareness is the first step toward ascension. You cannot climb a ladder you cannot see. You cannot escape a cage you do not know you are in. So pay attention. What you are about to learn is not taught in universities. It is not discussed in polite company. It is the architecture of human behavior, the operating system that runs beneath the theater of civilization. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. The world will never look the same again. Let us begin at the bottom, where most of humanity lives and dies. Level 1 is the reactor. Walk through any city and you will see them everywhere. Sitting in traffic, staring at their phones, moving through life on autopilot. The reactor does not make decisions. Decisions are made for him by his biology, his conditioning, his environment. He is a sophisticated machine, nothing more. When he is hungry, he eats. When he is tired, he sleeps. When the alarm rings, he wakes. When his boss gives an order, he obeys. When the television tells him what to think, he thinks it. When social media tells him what to be outraged about, he is outraged. He believes he is making choices, but he is only responding to stimuli in predictable ways. The reactor lives in a permanent state of external control. Everything that happens to him is someone else's fault. The government, the economy, his parents, his spouse, bad luck, the universe. He is a victim of forces he cannot name and does not understand. He drifts through life like a piece of debris in a river, occasionally bumping into the banks, but never questioning the current. Machiavelli wrote about these people. He called them the masses, those who judge by appearances and outcomes, never by the process. The reactor judges everything by how it makes him feel in the moment. He has no capacity for strategic thinking because strategy requires the ability to delay gratification, and the reactor is a slave to immediate comfort. His greatest fear is not death. His greatest fear is responsibility. If you gave the reactor total freedom, he would panic. Freedom is terrifying because it means there is no one to blame. The reactor needs structure. He needs to be told what is right, what is wrong, what he should want, how he should live. He craves a master, even as he complains about his chains. You know these people. You are surrounded by them. They are the ones who repeat talking points for news anchors word for word, believing they are expressing original thoughts. They are the ones who follow every trend, wear every fashion, adopt every opinion that makes them feel like they belong. Their entire identity is borrowed. The reactor is not evil. He is simply asleep. And the world needs him to stay that way because reactors are the fuel that powers every system. They work the jobs, pay the taxes, consume the products, and ask no questions. They are batteries, efficient, replaceable, and utterly predictable. If you are watching this video, you are probably not a reactor. The algorithm does not show content like this to people who are still asleep. But if you recognize yourself here, understand that the discomfort you feel, that sense that your life is not your own, is not a symptom of failure. It is the first tremor of awakening. When a reactor begins to wake up, he does not become wise. He becomes loud. He enters level 2. Level 2 is the performer. The performer has realized something important. Intelligence is currency. It buys respect, status, access to better opportunities. But the performer does not yet have genuine intelligence, so he fakes it. He becomes an actor playing the role of a smart person. The performer is obsessed with appearing intelligent. He uses complex language he does not fully understand. He name-drops philosophers he has never read. He shares articles he has not finished. He adopts political positions not because he has examined them, but because they signal membership in a tribe he wants to join. At level 2, intelligence is a costume. The performer collects credentials like trophies, degrees, certifications, titles, awards. He needs you to know he is smart. He needs the validation. He needs the applause. His entire sense of self-worth is built on the perception others have of him. This is the most dangerous level for your ego because the performer feels superior to the reactors. He looks at them with contempt. He thinks he is awake while they are asleep. He thinks he is a lion among sheep, but he is not awake. He is just dreaming a different dream. The performer is trapped in what psychologists call the Dunning-Kruger effect. He knows just enough to think he is an expert, but not enough to realize the vast ocean of his own ignorance. He mistakes the map for the territory. He mistakes the menu for the meal. He mistakes the appearance of intelligence for intelligence itself. Machiavelli warned about this type. He spoke of those who mistake the appearance of virtue for virtue itself, who believe that if they look like a prince, they are a prince. The performer believes that if he sounds smart, he is smart. If he dresses like a leader, he is a leader. But surface is not substance. Challenge a performer. Ask him to solve a problem he has not encountered before. Ask him to build something from scratch. Ask him to defend his position without repeating someone else's argument. He will crumble. He will become defensive. He will deflect. He will attack your credibility instead of defending his position because he has no foundation. He is a house built on sand. The tragedy of the performer is his addiction to external validation. He cannot think for himself because his thoughts are not his own. He has outsourced his identity to the crowd. If the crowd approves, he feels powerful. If the crowd rejects him, he feels destroyed. He is a puppet who believes he is pulling his own strings. If you find yourself constantly trying to prove how smart you are, if you feel a rush of pleasure when someone acknowledges your intelligence, if you feel rage when someone questions your knowledge, you are stuck at level 2. You are performing, and performance is exhausting because it never ends. There is always another audience to impress. But here is the good news. The fact that you are performing means you have woken up enough to know that intelligence matters. You are no longer a reactor. You are aware of the game. You are just playing it badly. The next step is to stop performing and start observing. Level 3 is the Tactician. This is where the game changes. The Tactician has stopped caring about looking smart and started caring about winning. He has realized that the rules of society, the morals, the norms, the social contracts are not universal truths. They are constructs, and constructs can be manipulated. The Tactician looks at every situation and asks, what do I want? What does the other person want? What are they afraid of? How can I use this? He has developed the ability to think strategically, to see 3 moves ahead, to understand incentive structures. Machiavelli wrote that a prince must be a fox to recognize traps and a lion to frighten wolves. The Tactician is the fox. He sees the traps. He understands that people are not driven by logic. They are driven by emotion, ego, fear, and desire. And once you understand what drives someone, you can steer them. The Tactician is transactional. Every interaction is an exchange. Every relationship is evaluated by its utility. He is not cruel for the sake of cruelty. He is simply efficient. If helping someone serves his goals, he helps them. If discarding someone serves his goals, he discards them. He feels no guilt because he has accepted that the world operates on power, not fairness. At level 3, you stop being a victim. You stop blaming external circumstances. You take full responsibility for your outcomes because you understand that blame is just another word for powerlessness. If everything is someone else's fault, you have no control. But if everything is your responsibility, you have all the control. The tactician climbs corporate ladders not by working the hardest, but by maneuvering the smartest. He understands office politics. He knows who has real power and who just has a title. He knows when to speak and when to stay silent. He knows how to make his boss look good so that he gets promoted. He is playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. But level 3 has a trap. The tactician becomes paranoid. Because he assumes everyone else is a tactician too. He projects his own cunning onto the world. He trusts no one. He is constantly scanning for threats, constantly calculating, constantly on guard. He wins the game, but he is exhausted. He is effective, but he is hollow. Many successful people stop here. Entrepreneurs, executives, politicians. They have money, status, influence, but they have no peace. They are trapped in a permanent state of vigilance. They are the smartest person in the room, but they are still reacting to the room. They are still playing within a system someone else built. To rise higher, you must stop merely reacting to the board. You must start moving the pieces with force and vision. You must become the commander. Level 4 is the commander. The commander does not just navigate the world, he shapes it. He does not just see opportunities. He creates them through sheer force of will and competence. The commander is the lion Machiavelli spoke of. He does not hide. He stands in the open and dares the world to challenge him. At level 4, intelligence becomes generative. You are no longer just exploiting existing structures. You are building new ones. You are not just playing the game. You are changing the rules. The commander has vision. He knows where he wants to go, and he has the discipline to march toward it, dragging everyone else with him if necessary. People follow the commander not because he manipulates them like the tactician, but because he represents order in a world of chaos. He is a lighthouse in the storm. He makes decisions that others are too afraid to make. He accepts the burden of responsibility that crushes weaker men. Machiavelli said it is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. The commander understands this. He is not interested in being liked. He is interested in being respected. He knows that respect is earned through competence and consistency, not through charm. The commander is rare. Maybe 1 in 1,000 people reach this level. These are the founders, the generals, the leaders who leave their mark on history. But the commander has a fatal flaw: visibility. He stands at the front. He takes the credit, but he also takes the blame. He is a target. Because the commander relies on his presence, his power is tied to his energy. If he gets sick, the empire wobbles. If he shows weakness, the wolves circle. He is strong, yes, but he's also vulnerable because everyone can see him. Everyone knows where to strike. The commander thinks power is about doing, about controlling, about being seen. He has not yet learned the deepest lesson of power, that the most dangerous forces in the world are the ones you cannot see. Now we enter the shadows, the levels that are not discussed in business school, the levels that the moralists warn you against. Level 5 is the manipulator. If the tactician is the fox and the commander is the lion, the manipulator is the spider. Silent, patient, invisible. The manipulator has realized that direct control is inefficient. It creates resistance. If you push someone, they push back. If you order someone, they resent you. But if you make them want to do what you want them to do, you own them. This is soft power. This is influence. The manipulator does not stand on the stage. He stands behind the curtain, whispering in the ear of the commander. He understands the deepest layers of human psychology. He knows that people are not rational. They are rationalizing. They make decisions emotionally and then invent logical reasons to justify those decisions. The manipulator engineers situations where the outcome is inevitable, yet everyone feels like they made a free choice. He is the master of plausible deniability. If a plan fails, his name is nowhere on it. If it succeeds, he quietly collects his reward. He operates through intermediaries, proxies, and fronts. Machiavelli wrote that everyone sees what you appear to be, but few experience what you really are. The manipulator lives by this code. He is a shapeshifter. To the reactor, he is a friend. To the performer, he is a mentor. To the tactician, he is a partner. To the commander, he is a loyal advisor. None of them realize they are being steered. The manipulator creates narratives. He plants ideas and lets others believe they thought of them. He amplifies insecurities and then offers solutions. He builds dependency without ever appearing to need anything himself. He's the hand you never see moving the pieces. But level 5 comes with a terrible cost: dissociation. When you spend your entire life wearing masks, you forget what your face looks like. When every interaction is a psychological operation, you lose the ability to connect. The manipulator is powerful, yes, but he is a ghost. He walks through the world, but he is not of it. He looks at humanity with the detachment of a scientist observing bacteria. He can predict them. He can control them, but he cannot be one of them. He is cold, colder than the tactician. He has sacrificed his humanity on the altar of control. Most dark psychologists stop here. They think this is the peak. They think being the invisible hand is ultimate power. But they are wrong. Because the manipulator is still playing the game, he is still reacting to the board, still moving pieces. He has not yet realized that the true master does not play the game. The true master builds the casino. Level 6 is the architect. The architect does not manipulate people, he designs environments. He understands that human behavior is a function of environment. If you want people to walk a certain way, you do not ask them, you do not trick them. You build a hallway. The architect builds the hallway. He creates systems, corporations, algorithms, ideologies, institutions, cultures, nations. He sets the rules of the game that the reactors, performers, tacticians, commanders, and manipulators are all fighting over. While the fox is trying to steal a grape and the lion is fighting for the bunch, and the spider is convincing someone to hand over the grapes, the architect owns the vineyard. This is systemic intelligence, the ability to think in second, third, and fourth order consequences. The architect thinks in decades and centuries, not quarters and years. He is detached from the outcome of individual battles because he has rigged the war. Think of the people who designed social media platforms. They are architects. They do not care what you argue about. They do not care which side wins. They built the arena. They profit from the engagement. They profit from the conflict. The content does not matter. The structure does. The architect is not evil. He is not good. He is inevitable. He looks at the chaos of human behavior and sees patterns. He sees the code beneath the matrix, and he rewrites it. To reach level 6, you must abandon the desire for personal glory. You must abandon the need to control individuals. You must fall in love with structure. You must become a student of systems. Economics, psychology, history, sociology, game theory. You must understand how incentives shape behavior, how narratives shape culture, how structures shape civilization. The architect is rare, maybe 1 in 10 million. These are the names that survive history. Not the kings who fought the wars, but the men who designed the systems that made the wars inevitable. But even the architect is not the final level. Because the architect is still attached to his creation, he still cares if the system works. He still has an ego, even if it is projected into his work. If his system collapses, he suffers. There is one level higher, a level that is almost inhuman. The final level is not about adding more. It is about subtraction. It is the void. Level 7 is the sovereign. At this level, you stop being the player. You stop being the designer. You become the silence that watches the game. This is total internal sovereignty. The sovereign has mastered the ultimate Machiavellian trait: complete emotional and psychological detachment from the external world. He owns nothing yet possesses everything. He has no fear because he has no attachment. You cannot threaten a man who does not care if he lives or dies. You cannot bribe a man who desires nothing you have. You cannot manipulate a man who has no ego to stroke. You cannot control a man who needs nothing from you. The sovereign looks at the architect's systems, the manipulator's schemes, the commander's wars, the tactician's games, and he smiles. He sees it all as theater, a cosmic play. This is not nihilism. Nihilism is despair. This is transcendence. The sovereign operates with perfect clarity because his vision is not clouded by desire, fear, or attachment. He does exactly what is necessary, nothing more, nothing less. He is like water. You try to grasp him and he slips through your fingers. You try to cut him and he reforms. You try to burn him and he evaporates, only to rain down on you later. He is formless, adaptable, inevitable. Machiavelli hinted at this when he spoke of Fortuna, the goddess of fate and chaos. He said, half of our lives are governed by Fortuna, and the other half by our will. The sovereign has aligned his will with Fortuna. He does not fight the current, he becomes the current. In Eastern philosophy, this is the Tao. In Stoicism, this is the sage. In Machiavellian terms, this is the ultimate predator. Because if you encounter a sovereign, you are helpless. You cannot read him. You cannot predict him. He reflects whatever you project onto him. He is a mirror. If you look into him, you only see yourself. He can descend to level 4 to lead an army, then return to the void. He can play the tactician in a negotiation, then ascend back to silence. He uses the other levels as tools, but he does not live there. He lives in the fortress of his own mind, a fortress with no doors, no windows, no walls. A fortress that cannot be breached because it does not exist in the world you can touch. This is ultimate freedom. Freedom from the need to be somebody. And paradoxically, this is where the greatest power lies. Because the man who needs nothing commands everything. Now the mirror is in front of you. Where do you stand? Be brutally honest. The lie you tell yourself is the most expensive lie you will ever pay for. Are you a reactor, drifting through life, waiting for permission to live, blaming the world for your circumstances? Are you a performer, seeking applause, collecting credentials, desperate to prove you are smart? Are you a tactician, winning small battles but exhausted, paranoid, trapped in transactional thinking? Are you a commander, carrying the weight of the world, visible, vulnerable, a target for everyone? Are you a manipulator, hiding in shadows, wearing masks, losing your soul to the game? Are you an architect building systems, thinking in decades, detached from individual outcomes? Or are you approaching the void, the sovereign, the one who needs nothing and therefore controls everything? Most of you are oscillating between level 2 and level 3. You are smart enough to know the game exists, but you are still seeking validation or trapped in tactical thinking. That is fine. Awareness is the first step, but understand this. The system is designed to keep you down. School is designed to produce reactors. University is designed to produce performers. A corporate ladder is designed to keep you a tactician. They do not want commanders. They fear manipulators. They cannot comprehend architects, and they would destroy the sovereign if they could see him. If you want to climb, you must go against every instinct your biology and society have programmed into you. You must kill the part of you that wants to be liked. You must kill the part of you that craves safety. You must accept that intelligence is not about being nice. It is not about being right. It is about being effective. So how do you ascend? You do not climb by accumulating more information. You climb by shedding illusions. To move from reactor to performer, you must wake up to the value of perception. To move from performer to tactician, you must stop caring what people think and start caring what works. To move from tactician to commander, you must develop courage and vision. To move from commander to manipulator, you must learn subtlety and psychology. To move from manipulator to architect, you must learn systems thinking and patience. To move from architect to sovereign, you must let go of everything. It is a long road. It is a dark road. Most people turn back. They prefer the warmth of the herd. It is comfortable in the middle of the crowd. It is cold on the mountain. But the view is worth everything. When you stand at the top looking down, you realize that all the stress, all the drama, all the noise, it was always just a game. A game you no longer have to play. You can simply watch. And in that watching, you discover the only thing that ever mattered. Power over yourself, not power over others. Not wealth, not status, not legacy. Power over your own mind. Because once you control your mind, the world bends. Most will not make it past level 3. They will be clever foxes their entire lives, always calculating, always afraid. They will never build empires. They will never design systems. They will never touch the void. Because they still believe in the rules. They think if they are smart enough, the rules will protect them. The rules will not protect you. The rules are there to control you. To break through, You must be willing to see the world as it actually is, not as you were taught it should be. You must be willing to accept that morality is a tool, not a truth. That fairness is a myth. That the universe does not care about your feelings. This is not about becoming evil. This is about becoming awake. Evil is just another form of slavery, slavery to your worst impulses. The sovereign is beyond good and evil. He acts according to necessity, not emotion. He is the most moral person in the room because he has transcended the need for moral theater. If you made it this far, you are not like the others. Most people would have clicked away by now. Most people do not want to see the world this clearly. It is too sharp. It cuts too deep. But you are still here. That means something. Subscribe if you have not already, but understand there are things I cannot say here. There are levels of this knowledge that cannot be shared publicly. The algorithm suppresses the most dangerous truths. If you want access to the uncensored material, the techniques that cannot be discussed in the open, you know what to do. Most will not take that step, and that is exactly how it should be. The hierarchy exists for a reason. Not everyone is meant to climb. Not everyone can handle the view from the top. But if you are ready, if you are willing to see how deep this goes, the door is open. The question is, are you brave enough to walk through it?